Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Life's Calculations. Today I am going to tell you about the second method of finding mean. The name of the second method is shortcut method, as I told to you yesterday in my previous video. Okay, so for this I have taken up one question of exercise 24B of ICSE Concise Mathematics book, class 10th. And I have chosen question number 3 of that exercise 24B. Question says, these are the marks obtained by 70 boys in a class test. Marks have been given here. Just see, first column is of marks. Marks start from 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, up to 90 to 100. Okay, so for us, actually these are the class intervals. As I told you, I am taking up here only the questions related to the grouped data. So these are the groups we have been given. In front of this, he has given us the frequency. I told you that these two columns will definitely be given to us every time. Now, in the shortcut method, students, what we are going to do, we are going to apply shortcut method to find mean, mean or arithmetic mean of a grouped data, right? So when both these columns have already been given to us, what we are going to add here, we are going to add 3 columns here, right? So first of all, as with the direct method case, we are going to write here the class mark. Okay, so the same step here as in case of direct method. Class mark, if you remember, I told you class mark is simply the average of the class interval. Class interval is from 30 to 40. So our first class mark would be 30 plus 40 divided by 2. It simply means that 70 divided by 2, and the answer would be 35. In other words, as told you previously, that class mark or the mid value is the average of the two terms of the class interval, and this average is coming out to be 35 for this class interval. And everywhere we will have like this only. For 40 to 50 we will have 45. Keep on writing like this. 50 to 60 we will have 55. 60 to 70 will be 65. 70 to 80. See students, I am writing class mark only by looking at the class interval column. Class interval column. I am not doing anything with the frequency or the second column. Okay. Now 70 to 80 means 75. 80 to 90 the class mark would be 85, and 90 to 100 will be 95. Right. This is the third column we are going to add from our own side. Then here, what is the different step which we did not do in case of the direct method is coming up now. We are going to, out of these class marks, the column which we just added, out of these we are going to select one mean. And what is the meaning of capital A? It means here the assumed mean. Assumed mean means one value we will assume, we will suppose one value out of all these class marks to be our mean. That is why this method is also known as assumed mean method, right? So now how to select that assumed mean? It is not a tough thing at all. It is not at all any tough thing. See, otherwise preferably we will select its middle value from 35 to 95. If I select here the middle value here is coming out to be 65, right? 65, because the number of values is odd. Number of values is odd here, so I can easily select the middlemost value, that is 65. Even if the number of values is number of terms here is even, then out of those two middlemost values you can select any. And I would even say that out of all these values from 35 to 95 you can select any value, but for our convenience we always select the middle value. Okay, so this is our assumed mean. Okay, so that assumed mean we are going to write here. I am going to write on top in the next column assumed mean, let it be 65, right? Then here we are going to find out one D. What is D? D is the deviation. Deviation means, now D, small d, what is its formula? It is simply x minus a. A is here For every value a will remain 65 only, and d will be x minus a. Which x? X means this. For first value I am going to write here, first d will be 35 minus 65. Okay, so 35 minus 65 is going to give me minus 30. Exactly same way. So did you understand one thing, that what is the d here? D is the deviation. Deviation, how much are these x deviating from our assumed mean, matlab how much is the difference, right? So next is a 45 minus 65, it is minus 20. So you continue finding the difference like this. 55, it will be minus 10, and here see students, 65 minus 65 will be 0, 75 minus 65 will be 10, right? And 85 minus 65 would be our 20, and 95 minus 65 would be our 30. Okay, so this is the very important step here. We have to write the values of d, each d. So our first d is minus 30, minus 20, minus 10, 0, 10, 20, 30, like this. Okay, now the next column is the last column here, and that is our values f dot d. In a direct method, here we find out our f dot x, but in shortcut method we are going to find our f dot d. Where is f? F, we are going to make use of this frequency now. Each frequency will be multiplied to the corresponding value of d, each frequency. So here what I am going to write? I am going to write 10 multiplied by minus 30. Okay, so here the answer would be minus 300. First FD value is minus 300. Next will be 12. This 12 multiplied by this minus 20. Okay, so it will be minus 240, right? Next would be 14 multiplied by minus 10, minus 140. Then see students, 12 multiplied by 0 will be 0. 9 multiplied by 10, next value FD I am writing, 9 multiplied by 10 will be simply your 90. Okay, 7 multiplied by 20 will be 140, and 30 multiplied by 6 will be your 180, right? So students, see very carefully, only this many columns we have to add. Okay, that is a FD, last column would be FD, and just like the previous one, only last thing we are going to do before finding the mean will be summation FD. Simply add all these values. Students, for this I will tell you one easy way. So we are going to add the negative numbers separately and positive numbers separately. Okay, don't get confused here. Don't do everything in hurry. Very coolly, simply add the negative numbers separately and positive numbers separately. Then finally we are going to add. Okay, so if I add the negative numbers, all of them here, definitely the answer will be in minus. Okay, so that answer will be 0, and 4 plus 4 would be 8, then 3 plus 2 would be 5 plus 1 6, minus 680 from the negative side. 0 we are not going to include, nothing to do with the 0. And from the positive side, what we are going to write? 0. Simply add all these number. Okay, so 13 plus 8 will be 21, and 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 4, so 410. So finally what we are going to write? Minus 680 plus 410. So summation FD would be simply minus 270. Take care of this minus, very much important. Exactly same way we are going to write here summation F as we did in the direct method, because these are the marks obtained by our 70 students. So surely the sum of frequency would be 70 only. Right students, and now after doing all this, we are going to finally, when this calculation part is over now, and now we are going to simply find what is the formula for our mean, right? So we are going to now write what is the formula of our mean. Mean, as I told you, is the x bar, and for the shortcut method the formula for mean is see, there is a little difference in the formula as far as direct method and assumed mean method are concerned. Here the formula is A. Where is, what is A here? A is this value, assumed mean, means 65, right? So A plus summation FD, last column, divided by summation F only. So simply means x bar A, put the values only. A is 65, summation FD is now your minus 270, don't forget this minus sign, divided by summation F means 70. So it means our x bar here would be simply, see the simple calculation we have to do now, 65 plus minus minus, okay, very important step, plus minus minus, and we have to divide now. You can very easily divide 270 by 70, okay, and this is going to come out to be 3.86, okay, you can divide it properly separately. And students, the final answer we are going to get by subtracting 65 and 3.86, and its answer would be 61.14, right? So this way 61.14 is the final answer of our mean, okay. See students, what does this depict? What is the meaning of this 61.14? The question was, see the question on the top, question says find the mean of these marks by the shortcut method. What were the marks? Marks were given to us from 30 to, here from the first column I am reading, from 30 to 100 the marks were given to us, okay. So from the range of marks 30 to 100, the average marks secured by those 70 boys are 61.14. This is the meaning, average marks or the mean marks secured by students, okay. So these are the columns. See the number of columns, 1 2 3 4 5, okay, one column extra from the shortcut method, but as the number of columns go on increasing, the calculation becomes easier and easier, okay. And this was all about the shortcut method or the assumed mean method. Hope you understood, right? And thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.